But let's get in Ambareesh Baliga and talk about the fall that we've seen on the this fall that we've seen in the markets. Ambareesh Baliga from Edelweiss now joins in on the phone line. Hi Ambareesh, we've seen a lot of we've seen a lot of volatility so far this entire week, but one thing is certain, at higher levels, at least, it's not that easy to conquer. What have you made of this sharp fall that we've seen on an intraday basis, and what does it tell you about the near-term trend on the market?
This is what I've been talking for the last at least a week, 10 days, that the market is ripe possibly for a correction, especially in the small and the mid-cap space. And from the statistics which I had quoted a few days back, that in the last 1 month, you had nearly 115, 120 multi-baggers, and this seems quite unnatural, and it's very difficult for this sort of a trend to continue indefinitely. So basically, this correction was overdue, and that's exactly what we are seeing as of now.
Okay. Ambareesh, how would you approach the mid-caps now, considering that most of the volatility seems to have come into the mid-caps, especially today also it is quite evident, there's 1% reversal that we've seen?
Yeah, basically in the mid-cap and the small caps, there is a clear, there has to be a clear division between the ones which are fundamentally good stocks and the cats and the dogs. But what we have seen in the last month and a half is it was across, whether it's fundamentally a good stock or whether it's a cat or a dog. These stocks have, all moved up. And like I said, you had a couple of multi-baggers out there. Possibly it's a great time to take out those cats and dogs from your portfolio, although some of them may be selling at a loss because, these stocks haven't really moved back to those 2008 levels. But it is worthwhile to book out those and get into quality stocks on a correction.
Okay. What about a correction in the Nifty? You spoke about a correction in a couple of these small and mid caps which have run. What about on the Nifty per se? Are you sensing that the Nifty level at least has peaked in the near term, and what could be the potential downside over the next few days?
Nifty also could correct, but again, you will not have a major correction in the Nifty because clearly there is a very, very good support levels at, closer to about 7,200, 300 levels. So I really don't see a correction which will be more than 150, 200 points.
Okay. Ambareesh, how would you approach, the oil and gas space, and is Brent actually spiking up to 113 the key reason why we are seeing this nervousness?
To a certain extent, yes, because of the Iraq issue, and at the same time, the petrol prices also are being expected to be lowered over the weekend. So it could be these twin issues, but I think it's more due to the crude, the way the crude prices are going.
Okay. You spoke about that how, perhaps one should book profits in a couple of these stocks which have run up too much. Could you name a few just in case someone didn't hear you the last time around and they are holding on to positions?
No, I really would not like to name those stocks where I think one should be booking out. But then I think if you look at the screen and compare with this, with the way those stocks were quoting about 3 or 4 months back, it's quite evident, and you will find a number of those in the infrastructure space.
Why is BHEL rising, Ambareesh? Any idea? Because, it seems to be a risk-off trade that the markets are now seeing, but BHEL is not stopping its rally today.
No, in fact, BHEL was one of those few heavyweights which had corrected. We had an extremely good move from those 110, 120 levels to closer to about 290. And after that, we had seen a correction, which the other capital goods stocks had not seen. So possibly because of which, I think people are finding value at these levels.
Okay. All right, Ambareesh, we leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining in. So that is some perspective that we're getting in on the markets. It has stemmed in terms of the losses, at least for the Nifty at this point. So we are not breaking 7,600 at this point. 7,623 is where we're at.